I'm definitely on the fence of it. I'll give it that. I know you're totally like, nah.
Look, I can't say I'm not completely against it.
I think
I
there's weird
think
shit.
I think there is unexplained things that I wouldn't say are paranormal. It's just because we can't explain it doesn't mean that it's some it's the haunted cats again. Just because we can't explain it, and this is something that happens with like UFOs a lot as well. Like I do believe in, I do believe that there's other sentient, sorry,
Aliens. Aliens.
other sentient beings besides humans who are from other planets, other galaxies. I do 100% believe that, even though I have no concrete evidence for it. But there's a lot of UFO sightings that come out. Scientologists. There's a lot of like UFO things that people say, "Oh, what is this UFO?" And it always turns out to be some sort of like a military.
Apart from the Battle of Los Angeles, that's actually really interesting.
The Battle of Los Angeles, yeah.
That's interesting. That one's genuinely interesting, and there are actually
the
a
army
few.
shot at it. That's the thing, though. Like, it's hard for me to believe in paranormal things because there's always an explanation for this stuff, and just because
Sometimes.
Yeah, but just when you say sometimes, the sometimes for me is we just don't know yet. And just because we don't know yet doesn't mean it's paranormal.
Of course, yeah, I totally agree with that. But like we're gonna do a personal story here, and you can agree this was creepy. Liv and I were cuddling in bed, and we literally heard someone like moan underneath us. And I mean, I swear to God, it came from under the bed.
That was
that
weird.
shit was fucking weird.
And I'm sure there is an explanation for it.
It was really weird.
We just don't know what it was, and it was really fucking weird.
It was really weird.
I thought it was your phone because I remember like your phone was just in between us.
He fucking turned around. He was like, "Are you watching porn?" And I was like, "No, are you?"
It was
because it sounded like a
thing.
Moan. We were like, "Oh, girl,
what the fuck?" It was weird, and not just that. Like I feel like there was a couple of things that happened.
The cat. It was the cat bowl, and you don't remember this, but it was fucking weird. Like we would literally just sat minding our own business, watching like Pretty Little Liars or something, and Biscuit's bowl turned up in the middle of the room. Biscuit can't have just fucking picked it up and put it in the middle of the room. She did, and we just looked at it like, how the fuck did her bowl get there?
She would have done it.
No, she can't have. It just doesn't, because there was like a layer of water on it. Like, I don't understand how a fucking tray got from the middle of the room from the laundry. It's a cat ghost. Like
I don't actually remember this.
It happened. I promise.
I don't remember this. I'm sorry.
Obviously, the bang in the door. We think that was Biscuit.
That was definitely we proved that because we looked on the camera, didn't we?
Oh yeah. If we fucking lightened it up, you can actually see fucking Biscuit. I was so pissed off with her about that.
Demented shit that we've had to put up with.
It's probably Biscuit.
Yeah, it's always the cats. It's the one woman.
But the moan under the fucking bed, that was weird, and like that made me feel uncomfortable as shit.
It was weird. It was really weird. But it wasn't a ghost. It was something.
I kind of hope they are real. That'd be kind of, like, imagine if it was like Phasmophobia and you had like different kind of ghosts. Imagine if there were things like demons. I bet there is. I don't know. Like, there's got to be something else. It's kind of nice to think, right? It would be boring if we didn't have shit like that. I definitely think aliens exist.
When I die, I don't want to be a ghost roaming around. That's fucking boring.
I do.
No.
Threesome with the ghost underneath the bed. No, thank you.
No thanks.
I see too many things not to believe in it. See, people see shit,
and that's
I can definitely say I've seen my fair share of weird stuff.
I don't want to say that people are lying because they're not. Personally, I've had experiences where I've gone like, what the fuck was that? Like, you were there when that happened last time.
Did you know scientifically? I'm not saying that is proven that ghosts are real, but scientifically, it is possible. It actually is, because technically, if the soul was actually a real thing, if it was, that's a massive if, and we don't know yet. They're still very much looking into that one because there is a big possibility that that could actually exist. If the soul exists, then you've got to apply one of the very basic laws of fucking physics that energy can't be created nor destroyed. So
Mhm.
whether like you're in a body or not, you
Mhm.
could actually exist.
I hope that's not true. I don't want to be a ghost roaming around. I just want to be done with this shit. When I die, I just don't. I don't want more fucking things to do. I'm dead.
It'd be fun to go and haunt people. Come
Yeah,
on.
maybe like once
Imagine
or
just going around scaring the
maybe
shit out of
maybe
someone.
like once or twice, but I don't. That's just me. I don't think you stay here, but I believe that if you have unfinished business, you get stuck here, and where you come to check in on people time to time you care about.
That's definitely a nice thought. I'd
That is
like
a
to think
nice
that.
thought. Yeah, that I like the it's very romantic. I like it. Just I don't believe it's the case.
That's fair enough.
Yeah.
I'm on the fence actually. I'll be honest. I don't care if you think I'm crazy. I'm on the fence. I think there could be something.
I don't think people
I
are
feel like
crazy for believing
there's
that.
no. I think there's definitely something they're looking into. I reckon there's something
Well,
that's
I mean,
there.
obviously, like the things that I don't know, I don't know. You
Yeah.
know. So yeah, you could be right.
I think
You
it's
could be.
definitely interesting, and I hope
Mm,
that people like do more research into it. Honestly, because
mm,
like it would be really cool to see. I'm not saying that like they look like they go around in a boo and shit like that. I don't
mm,
think it's like that. My unless you get the bad evil stuff, that means someone did some messed up stuff in the area. I've never actually experienced, but like I know people who are really like totally against using things like Ouija boards and stuff like that.
mm.
Like even I wouldn't mess with one of them. I think I have a bit of a sense to think that's probably not a good idea. Like, would you use an Ouija board?
Yeah,
You'd use one.
of course. It's bullshit. It doesn't do
I don't
anything.
know. I think there's something weird
It's
about
always
them.
someone moving it. It is.
I don't know, man. I don't
Well,
know.
why
I
don't
think
we
it's
get
weird.
one and I'll show you how it's
Nah,
done.
I don't want to go near that shit. I'm too skeptical on it. Like, I don't think I'd be comfortable with it.
I think it's one of those things where like you gotta do
Luigi.
Luigi board.
Yeah, fucking Sky's like, no, 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 no.
You
I
gotta
wouldn't.
you gotta experience it for yourself before you can be skeptical. Like
Yeah, and I've seen things and experienced things where I've been a bit like, okay, I don't want to tamper with anything that
like
supposedly brings in something bad.
like give me an
Like,
example.
so for example, and don't think I'm crazy, and
I
I've
don't
got
think you're
so many
crazy.
people to back me up on this. I've got all my friends from back home,
Mm,
even dad, even mum would have said so,
mm,
Chrissy, like we're all on this. But like our house had something there, and I mean something was weird, and I'm not sure what it was, but we had a really bad person in the house once. I'm not gonna go into details. No, you're cute, bad. But I'm not going to go into details because this person, I don't want to bring him up.
all right.
But he was visiting us a lot. This is a real person, not a ghost. Like this
Okay.
is someone who was connected to someone in the family. Was a piece, turned out to be a piece of shit. But like we didn't know that until the very end. But one thing we did notice about this person is that like whenever they were around, it's like they were carrying something like dark on them. And like I'm not saying like they've got a demon on them or something, but it was almost like they had like just some horrible energy around them. Like you could just tell they were horrible. Like they were
Mm,
almost oozing it. And that's weird. I think if you're able to tell, and he turned out to be a really fucked up person.
mm,
We didn't have any clue. No, he hadn't told us about anything that he'd done, but like he just had that energy to him where we just it's almost like the house felt uncomfortable with him being there, and it was strange. Like the presence was weird.
mm. I've had an experience where I don't know if I told you about this, but like when I was little, um, there was this guy. Apparently, he was like I don't know, some sort of like, I don't know what to call him. He emitted some sort of energy, and he was visiting someone to heal them. Like I think we were at my cousin's house, and my mom heard that this guy is there, so she went up and grabbed him. He was at a neighbor's place, so she went up and grabbed the guy on his way out, and all he did was like he got his hands and he was just doing this around my face and around my shoulders, and as he was doing that, I could feel this like energy around me. Um,
See, that's what I mean by like this
but see,
thing.
but this is the thing. Like, even though I've experienced something like that, I still think he was a fucking he was tricking people.
Fair enough.
I don't believe that people can do things like that.
I don't know if people can do that, but I definitely believe that people can pick up on like some sort of energy, which
It's
is really strange. Because like the one with this guy in our house was years of this happening, like and so many people noticed it. Like whenever this person was present in the house, I had at least over 10 people come to me and be like, "Oh, your house was weird. Like there's something off." And like we wouldn't talk about it because it's embarrassing. Like we don't want to come to people and be like, "Yeah, like our house is haunted." No, we don't want that.
now
People
when
would
you say
literally.
okay, when you say something's off, like do you mean like literally shit like would start moving, or was it just
Yes,
like an
like
atmosphere
shit. No,
thing,
shit did move.
like when you're around someone who's always negative,
No, no,
you
no,
kind
no,
of feel like, oh,
no.
what the fuck, like this guy.
So one of the people in our family had an argument with this said person, and I kid you not, one of the plates fucking went off the shelf out of nowhere. No one fucking touched it, and I absolutely kid you not, we were all really fucking cold after. I mean it. I'm not even fucking joking. You can ask so many people.
I believe you. I
It's
don't believe
weird.
for a second that you'd be making that up. I think there is an explanation
There
for it.
probably is, but
And
it's weird, and especially when
yeah.
you deal with it so much, like you've had like multiple like experiences of
Do
seeing
you
like
know what?
shit.
I'm actually jealous. Like I'm looking at like Sky saying like Wren knows my stories. I've had a lot. I wish I had because I've had some things, and like to
Yeah,
be fair, like with the guy doing that shit to me, like it would make sense if I believed that he was able to actually put some sort of fucking protection layer over me because like I've been through so much shit in my life,
yeah,
and I've always managed to pull out. But like to give that credit to that as opposed to the shit that I had to put up with myself, it's just not fair to me. But the point
that's fair.
but the point I was trying to make is like I wish, like I'm kind of jealous. Like I wish I had something like that because I want to see it. Like I feel like in comparison to you or like Dark or I don't know.
Megel said this. She had an experience, but feeling about a kid I babysat a couple of times. He was only 6, and it freaked me out. I'd love to hear about that, Megel.
See, this is like I've never like I'm kind of jealous. Like I wish I had shit happen to me.
I'll tell you the main thing that was actually really fun, and we
Yeah.
think like we all thought was really weird. So, mom, Chrissy, my sister, her boyfriend at the time, me, and I think my boyfriend at the time. I'm not sure. Maybe not. So we were all playing Munchkin. I don't know if you guys know the board game Munchkin.
You talked to me
Yeah,
about
we
it.
we loved playing Munchkin, but Dad was away that weekend. He was visiting friends up country, and we were all playing Munchkin until I must say as well, we have 2 cats at this point. We had Pie and we had Lily, both of which were downstairs with us at the time of when shit went weird.
Okay.
So we had this crash from upstairs, and we were just like, okay, like, fucking Pie, what are you doing? And Pie's just sat there looking at us like, bitch, what? Like, so we're like, oh crap, okay, the cats are down here. Let's go upstairs and have a look what happened. So the crash came from Mum and Dad's room, and what had happened is that a painting of my mum was on the floor. And we're like, okay, paintings fall off, right? Like, that just happens sometimes. The weird part, and I think this is really strange, is that where the nail was in the wall, the walls were painted red, mind. Where the nail was in the wall, you could see the drag mark of the nail going sideways from where it had been pulled off. So it's almost like someone knocked it sideways.
I mean, the painting could have gone that way.
No. I mean, it dragged. Like, it was, like, that long. A painting ain't gonna go, like, that. Like, if it's gonna fall, it's gonna go down. That's gravity, sweetheart. Like...
No, I know, but I'm saying, like, if it was positioned in a way that was, like, if it had some sort of weight on it, taking it that way.
No, it didn't. It looked like
Well,
someone
how
had...
do you know? Like, you weren't there when it fell down, so how
Yeah, but,
do you
like,
know
the
how
painting...
it
The
fell?
painting had no fucking, like, weight anywhere else. And by
But how can you be sure if you weren't up there when it
Because,
happened?
sweetheart, you can't... Gravity can't do that.
No,
A painting can't go like that. That's impossible.
No, I'm not
Unless
saying-
someone's putting force on it on the other way.
Yeah, but the
it
force
can't...
could have come from anything.
Yeah, but there was no breeze, no windows open, no doors open. There was nothing. There was nothing in that room that could have caused that to fall like it did. So, like, it would make no sense for it to fall. Do you know what I mean? Like, it just makes no sense. You do not have a scratch mark going sideways if a painting fell down. Like, if the nail had gone down that way...
How do you know that the scratch wasn't already there?
Because the paper was all, like... clump, like, you know when you've just scratched wallpaper off and it's dusty?
Kind of.
Yeah, you could see it was fresh. And, like, it was white, because the walls behind it were white. Like, we could see the white from where it had been scratched off. So that in itself was strange. There's a painting of Mum that it looked like it had been fucking knocked off.
Yeah.
Like, the only way we could have thought it could have gone off was that someone had pushed it.
Right.
So, after that happened, we went downstairs. Chrissy's boyfriend was absolutely shitting himself, right? Like, he was really fucking scared. It was quite funny because, like, we were just a bit like, this is weird, but like, whatever, like, just put the.
That is weird. I'm
Yeah,
not.
it
I'm
is
not. I'm not saying
weird.
this is normal. Like, I would be. Like, if I were there, I would be like, okay, what the fuck? Like,
Yes, and like
it's
the thing
weird.
is, like, it's hard to explain to someone without it sound like bullshit. If you want there to see it, like, you could, like, I kid you not, I could call my sister and she could
I
tell you
believe
the
you.
exact
No,
same
I
thing.
believe you.
Yeah,
I 100% believe you.
and obviously, if Mum was here, like, she'd tell you, and my mum had no bullshit, like, she.
I believe you.
But weird part was, as we came back downstairs, and obviously the mood had definitely changed. We were like, okay, that was really strange. Like, a painting looks like it's just been flown off, right? And I kid you fucking not, the house got so cold. Like, the temperature just dropped out of nowhere, and it got cold, and it was weird. Like, it doesn't just drop like that, you know? It was just like 1 minute we're comfortable, next minute is, oh my god, that's really cold. And we were all kind of sat there not wanting to, like, talk to each other about it, because it was really fucking strange. I think Chrissy's boyfriend was pretty new at this point, so we didn't want to, like, make it out like we were living in some really fucked up house. But, like, it got very fucking cold, and like to the point that Mum had to go and get us all blankets to go and sit and play the game still. And in the kitchen, it was almost like something was, like, looking at us. I'm not saying we could see it, but when you know someone's fucking staring at you, you can feel it. So you've got eyes on the back of your head that can literally tell that someone's looking at you. I had this horrible feeling, and it wasn't like I'm scared, but like that really uncomfortable feeling that someone was definitely looking at me, and like nothing like dangerous, but I was like, something's looking, like there's something there. And I kept this to myself for about 20 minutes until fucking Chrissy's boyfriend said, "Is there someone in the kitchen?" And I was like, no fucking way, like, I am not dealing with this shit. Because, like, we all just fucking opened up and it's like, yeah, we've been feeling that for a bit. Like, we were all fucking feeling it. Like, the temperatures just dropped and suddenly we can just feel something. Nothing threatening. It was just weird. Like, it was, like, uncomfortable.
I wish I had an experience like that. I've never had anything. I've never experienced anything like that. So.
And I'm not saying it's a ghost, because I'm still on the fence.
Yeah.
Like, I will admit, I am definitely still on the fence with these things, because, like, you're right. Like, it sounds ridiculous, and, like, I don't want to put credit in like mediums and stuff. I really don't believe in. Like, that's a real struggle for me. I think when you've, like, lost someone and then you have a bunch of fucking mediums come around and tell you, like, oh, I can communicate with them, like, that shit just makes it look fake as hell.
Yeah.
But in the sense of just, like, weird energy or something different, I'm definitely on the fence, because, like, our house has had so much of it, and, like, oh god, this is more sad, but, like, before someone died in our house.
Yeah.
The night before that person got rushed to the hospital, I heard a massive shriek outside the house, and I think it was a barn owl. And I'm gonna kid myself that it's a barn owl. But my god, was I shat up! I thought it was a fucking banshee, because, like, during that week that person died. But, like, the night before they got taken to the hospital, like, I heard this fucking god awful shriek from outside, and obviously, like, the tale of banshees is that before someone dies, is that they basically scream outside your door. And I don't know if you've heard a barn owl shrieking, but they're fucking terrifying. So it didn't help, and I'm sure most likely it was a barn owl, but it was just the worst fucking timing for that to happen. Yeah, it was really fucking creepy, Meg. It was like it's just the worst timing, and I do put that down to a barn owl, but you got to listen to a barn owl shrieking to understand how demented it sounds. Yeah, it sounds like a screaming woman.
Again, I wish I'd experienced something extraordinary like the thing in the house.
It's weird.
It's just never happened to me for some. I think there's a group of people who never experienced shit like this.
Mm,
You know, like it's
100%. Some people
yeah,
like
I'm jealous.
I can't like that's what I mean by I can't be too dismissive on it when like you've seen shit like that. You can't turn around and be like, obviously you can. You've never dealt with this shit, so it totally makes sense for you to turn around and be like, I don't believe in it. Like I totally respect that. That makes sense. But like if you've seen shit, like I'm sure there's people in the chat, like from the sounds of it, like Skydog, Maggles, like they've all got something that's made them go like, what the fuck? Like that's
Yeah.
really strange. I don't know why the fuck that's happened. And this is what I mean by some of the shit that happened in the house. Like there were just things that happened and like there was just no like that painting, like that's one of the weirdest things I've ever been through. Because it
Yeah.
literally looked like it'd been ripped off the wall. I kid you not. But I can understand from someone who's never done that, you're listening to this going like,
But I mean,
"What?"
even with the thing that you and I went through with the moan, like, because I was the one who pointed it out. I was like, "What the fuck was that?" But I can't put that down to. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not gonna.
I'm definitely a very resistant person when it comes to believing stuff like that. I think for me, it's gonna come down to actually seeing, like, um, actually seeing something in person happen in front of me, as opposed to having something happen somewhere else and then I go and see the aftermath. I just can't. I can't just start believing. I need to see something right in front of me, and then I'll go, "Yep, fair enough." You know?
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Yeah.
That's totally.